All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. You know what was not the Avs Valentine's today?
Andrei Vasilevskiy.
Yeah, and 2 goal leads.
Yeah.
Mostly Andrei Vasilevskiy though. He
Yeah,
really took
honestly,
that.
like,
He took that cup final game personally.
yeah.
The series. He was like, nope,
Mhm.
not letting that happen
Honestly,
again.
like, Tampa Bay didn't even do anything to, like, deserve to tie the game. For me, anyway. Like, that Sorelli goal is some bullshit. And then it just, like, was super soft and weird. And then Curtis McDermott, it's like, they play
I
so
mean, I will
well, and
say,
one of their horrible players just ruins the game.
I don't think that I don't know. I wouldn't say they necessarily like deserved it, but they didn't like. I don't know. High danger chances were 16-7 for Tampa
Totally
Bay.
misleading. It was like a dead 50-50 hockey game for
Yeah,
me.
I agree. I think it. I don't know. Um, I don't know, but one thing. It's been a while since we really complained about the refs. One thing I want to know: what is tripping? What is it?
I I don't even really like. I didn't have a huge problem with it because they're just kind of letting him play.
But my
Um,
problem wasn't when they called it on the apps because I was like, look, these are penalties. I'm not going to lie. But the problem is right before Tampa Bay's first goal of the game, Braden Point takes a guy out at the blue line, like just as intentionally as all the other ones. Is it like
I don't
is it
know. There were
and
lots. There were like
and then
lots of tweeners for me against
it
Tampa
was
Bay,
the
and
the
they just
most
didn't call any of them.
the most frustrating one for me was Steven Stamkos just big ol' cross checking the numbers on Miko Rantanen, and you're like, all right, they're letting them play, and then they call the trip,
That's
and
right
it's
in
like
front of me, and Miko totally dove. Like that was really soft by Miko. I wouldn't have called anything.
the problem is he gives him like 3 more on the ground, and I feel like there's a point where you're like, you have to call that
I
because
mean,
they
that's just
usually
kind of
do.
hockey.
I would agree, but also it's like not.
I know Avs fans are pissed tonight about the refereeing, and I just
I
like in
wasn't
the
actually
building.
that mad about it. Like I said, there just wasn't any consistency.
And like in
Um,
the
one thing
building
that
got
really,
like
the one that
angry
that
for a sec.
that
It
I was
just
like,
wasn't.
you have to call was Corey Perry sticking his face in Bowen Byram's sticking his hand in Bowen Byram's face. I mean, you just can't do that.
I mean, they were so Bo was giving it to him too. Like from the start of that shift, Bo also gave it to him. I just felt like they were like it obviously wasn't perfect. I know Avs fans are angry and they feel like they got like the worst end of the refereeing, which they definitely did, but also like it just didn't matter. They killed the penalties.
Yeah,
And their power play is so bad that I don't think
yeah. So this is something I've noticed. Miko
Devon Taves isn't
Rantanen
good at it, man.
tends to stay out there a lot longer, and my theory is it's because he doesn't get the puck anymore on it. Because whoever it is, it's just a pitching catch with Nathan McKinnon,
Devon
and
Taves
then
isn't any good at it.
yeah,
He's
no, it
not.
should be Bowen Byram on power play one.
I don't think it should be Bo. I think it should be Sam Girard because that worked for 3 years. Well, it was like a year. It was Barry, and then in between the transition to Kale, it was Girard. And you've seen Girard be on that unit a lot, and
I
he's good
think
at it.
I just like Bo there because he's more of a shooting threat like McCarr is, and I think that opens up space more for McKinnon.
Sure. I just don't like Bo on the PP2 really either. I don't think he's great at it. I'm
Yeah,
sure he'd
well,
get better.
I don't think, but the problem is he hasn't been the quarterback on that one. It's always been Sam. So
Hmm.
I don't think we've really got we've seen Bo have an opportunity like last year. Bo, when Kale was out for a little bit, Bo got
He wasn't very
quarterback.
good at it.
It was
Mm-mm.
he scored
They
like a
went they
goal.
went over 4. That was at 6-on-5. But that's not the point. It's like for me, it was just like I just didn't really think that was. I didn't think it betrayed the
This hurts.
amazing hockey game. Like I was enthralled with that hockey game. I was
It
just
sucks because
the
it was
whole
a
game.
really
I
good
was just
hockey
on the edge
game.
of my seat and like so into it, man. It was just such a
It
good game.
just it got soured by me by the fact that the Avs had a 2 goal lead and
Yeah,
then the
I mean,
third period happens.
if the Avs played bad and like deserved to lose that, I would have been sad about it. But I think like Tampa, the goals were pretty fluky, and Curtis McDermott was made that play. And when your bad players, lose you the game,
Yeah,
it's what
one
it
thing
is.
I do want to talk about on that goal is, and this isn't a defense of Curtis McDermott at all. It's a bad play from him. It's more of like I'm not saying anything good about him. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. My only point is JT Compher, you have a stick on the puck. Don't one-hand it to nothing, please. You're on
He
the
was
ice with Curtis McDermott. Do something.
he was really bad tonight. I think Curtis put him in that position as well, to where, and then obviously like the play by Nemesnikov is a really good play.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
it's nice.
he takes advantage of it. He makes a really good play.
And then Bo
I
goes to
miss
the
that guy,
EJ
dude. He's
School
really
of
good.
Dive.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if Nemesnikov's good, man. He'd fit so good with us.
Yeah,
I miss him a little.
he didn't play
Um,
last game against us, right? Or did he?
yeah, he did.
Okay,
It was
I
Nick
thought.
Paul who didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, this is something Brandon Hagel played in the Cup final, right?
Yeah, he was not very good in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because every time like I don't know. I just forgot he was on the team just because like in the Cup final,
hmm
I never noticed him.
He took a puck to the forearm wrist.
Yeah, I don't know if he
I
came
thought it was
back.
broken just the way he reacted. He was in
Yeah.
so much pain. But then he
Um.
came back out next shift and was like,
Okay.
okay, looks like Hagel's fine. But
I mean, there's a lot of things about this game. On the whole, you look at the context and you're not really worried about it. It's just a worry to me that this team just continues to have a problem holding leads.
yeah, so I don't think it's going to be a problem when they get some of these defensemen back. It's
Right. It's
so
just
hard to hold leads because who are the culprits? It's not Devon Taves, Bowen
right.
Byram, Sam Girard. It's Curtis McDermott, Brad Hunt, Andreas
And
Englund.
I don't have a problem with it and the fact that I think it's going to plague them further in the way that they're going to keep doing it. My problem is that they keep doing it now and it's making life harder on them down the road. So now
Totally.
there's these points that you could have had,
hmm
and now you have to win more and more of your games.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now it feels like a lot more like you need to get something out of Minnesota
hmm
tomorrow.
What was concerning me before the break is like the Anaheim and St. Louis game, like they completely stopped playing in both of
Yeah.
those games.
And that's something that
And
definitely isn't the same.
they just haven't done that since against Florida, obviously they blew it and then they held it at the end. And then tonight they blew it. But it wasn't like they played bad. And honestly, that
Yeah.
Sorelli goal, man, I want that save. Like
I
I
I
do.
don't
It was
that
soft, man.
looking at it on the TV, I was like, dude, this is the worst because it just dove immediately. I was like, what the fuck?
hmm I
It's
just
just
want
it's
that
hard as a
save.
goalie in that
I
because it's
understand.
going right and then it just sunk so hard.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
just an unlucky thing. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, man, that's why like shit like that, you just can't have that go in your net. So yeah, I mean
It's
we'll kind of go through the game here, but it's funny side note tonight. First shift for the Lightning in the third period. They were heading through the neutral zone. I think it was Stamkos had some room through the neutral zone, and I go, oh boy, this is not good. And they scored, right?
yeah.
And then Curtis McDermott got it in the corner, and I was like, oh boy, this could be an adventure. And then it was an adventure. It's just like it felt like every time I said something, it just was in the net.
It was
I
this
felt
game
really
was
bad. It's my
low
fault.
key ruined for me because I was just in this I'm in this Discord channel and I talk with people during the game, and these guys are watching it on cable because I think it was nationally televised in Canada,
Hmm.
and they're like a minute ahead. So I see that they say
Yeah.
Kermit, what are you doing? And like the puck's still in the Tampa Bay zone, and I'm like, oh god. So I'm just dreading what's gonna come next
Right.
because I mean with that one, I had a little bit of hope just because they really don't like him. So like any mistake, they could react like that too.
hmm
And then it was just, and then for some reason my Fubo started way early or like way late. So
Mm.
I look at my phone one last time while there's like going into the game for the intermission for the puck drop, and I see a tweet from Evan Rowell that says Arturi Lehkonen had scored, and I'm like, what do you mean? The game hasn't even started yet.
It was a good stick.
And I was like, Jesus. I didn't get to enjoy anything. It's so frustrating sometimes.
Just don't talk to people during the game. I never talk to people during the game.
I don't like
Much better that way.
I just it's hard because I'm so used to talking with my dad during the games. So I have to have someone to interact with. So like I talk with these people and like I try and I don't talk with them during the actual gameplay. And that's the thing, is that I'm talking to them during a break. They say something happens and then a minute later it actually happens. I'm like, Jesus. Like I literally had to send a message and I was like, someone please tell me when overtime starts for you so I get the hell out of here before something gets spoiled.
Yeah. That would be frustrating for me.
Yeah.
That's why.
What? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have some thoughts about the overtime, but
oh yeah, we'll get into it later. We'll just start at the start. That's why I just kind of don't really. I mean, obviously today I had some buddies with me at the game, which is why we're doing this so late because I had to take them all home and stuff. On snowy roads, it was horrible. But now,
by the way, I think snow is a
yeah.
bad sign for the Avs. I don't know. I feel like
They beat the Canadians. That was such a terrible drive. Oh my god.
Actually, I guess I don't remember that one. What lingers in my head was when they played the Coyotes last year, and there was
that's where Grandpa was driving.
The snow was awful, and I was like, so ever since then I've been like, nope, don't like snow.
Yeah, they beat the Canadians in OT, and it was blizzard. I don't know.
I guess I don't remember that one.
Just OT games, I guess, in the snow.
Yeah.
Kind of go hand in hand. But
there's snow and it goes overtime. Look out.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's why I just kind of. I mean, today obviously I had to like be friendly, but most of the time I just kind of sit there,
right,
by myself, yell at the TV.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can just start with the first goal. I mean, that was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. First shift of the game was just kind of like Tampa controlled it, and the Avs didn't really let much up. And then they kind of changed, and their guys got on like all sluggish, and then here comes Arturi Lehkonen just barreling down, and Chooch, and it's just that line dominated the whole time.
Yeah, they were pretty good tonight, I thought.
They were really good tonight.
I didn't like. It took me a minute. Didn't realize they were responsible for 2 of the goals already.
Yeah, still some finishing issues. Like a lot of great A's. Obviously, it's Vasilevskiy, so finishing 2 of those is pretty good. But I had a bigger problem with I had a big problem with the second line tonight, if I'm being honest. But
yeah, so I had some issues with the second line. One thing I do want to say about this goal, I mean, nice shot, nice screen from Nuke. How on earth did they even consider giving that goal to him? It just went straight in. It didn't deflect off anything.
It really did look like it hit something, just like the way it went in.
I guess I don't know. I guess maybe on TV I saw, we get that nice.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, that's right in front of me. So I saw the net pop, and I was like, "Whoa, that went in!" It looked like he flubbed it, and I was really happy because obviously it's Lecky, and Lecky's he's my boy. So
right. Yeah, instead of good stick Lecky, I said good ass Nuke.
Good stick Lecky.
But yeah, I mean, nice goal. Second line, we'll talk about it really quick. It was clear to me they were getting hemmed in their zone a lot to start the game. They have second line, yeah.
Yeah, and then all the other lines were hemming Tampa in.
Yeah, so and then I was like, okay, you got to change something up. And then they started playing Mikko with Nate, and it was working a little bit. But I'm like, just can't keep doing that.
A couple times, but it was so. I thought Nate was really bad tonight. Again, I don't know. It was just like a personal thing.
Bad.
I thought he was responsible and all that, but he was just fighting it a little.
Yeah, no. So I said something about that. I was like, I liked his effort level and I liked his drive, but it felt like, especially in the first period, his stick was made of rubber. Nothing would stick to it.
Yeah. He also made a lot of stupid decisions in the offense. Like he was trying to do too much.
Yeah, I had some definite problems with his decision making as the game went on, especially in overtime.
I didn't mind it in his own zone in regulation. I thought he
Yeah,
was
no, I
pretty good
thought,
defensively.
and that's why I was kind of fine with it. I was like, he's paying more attention to there, and I mean,
Yeah.
given the fact that they had 2 goals, I was like, that's fine. I don't really care. Um,
And obviously he had that one shift where he was just like, I'm Nathan McKinnon, Nate Dogg, and he dangled the pants off of like 4 Lightning players, and then he
right?
scores the goal at the end of it.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's just Nathan McKinnon, I guess.
yeah. Anyways, the second line, hopefully Evan Rodriguez can never score a goal again.
I thought he was the only one of those 3
Yeah.
that was even remotely okay.
Miko had his moments where I was like, but I still
Yeah,
am left wanting more after this break. He just hasn't been the
yeah.
same. And
Like
JT,
that one play where he walks Tampa Bay in the third period and hits the
right?
knob of the stick.
And then in that first period where he moosed a guy,
Yeah,
yeah,
but it was just that was like all I remember. He's just like a ghost
yeah.
out
And
there.
then JT, I he made some, I don't know this,
He I so maybe this is like a person. I didn't see much about it on Twitter
yeah.
throughout the game, but I thought he was like horrible.
Huh.
Like I
I
mean,
wasn't,
so
I
that
don't know.
Braden Point goal or the
Oh
Kucherov
yeah,
goal, all
so
his fault.
yeah,
Stupid. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're never scoring from there anyway, and you miss it there, so it's a
yeah.
two
Not
on
only
one.
it was just like it was very bad from him on
And
that
then
one.
his next shift, he loses it at the blue line, and Tampa Bay. I mean, that obviously Killorn runs into Georgiev, and then he fights, and I was like, good, like get him off the ice. I don't want to watch him anymore.
Yeah,
Stupid.
yeah.
So
I don't think he was like consistently horrible, but he made enough bad mistakes. And then for some reason he gets a breakaway opportunity on Vasilevskiy. Where did Dennis Malgin score? Blocker side. Where did they score
blocker,
most of their goals? On,
blocker.
yeah. And
Yeah,
what does he do? He goes to the fucking
goes the glove.
forehand and shoots it right into his glove.
Hmm.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it was a good move. It's just Andrei Vasilevskiy, man. Like you pull that all the way to your backhand, see if you can roof it over the blocker
Yeah.
or like under it, because it's not his blocker is like not
Or
the best.
catch him trying to be aggressive and put it through his 5 hole.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's so good at goalie. I, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if, especially in the shootout, I couldn't tell if the Avs were just making bad moves or if he was
It's
just
him,
being good.
man. I mean that. So Erod does his move, like they have the book on him now. Whatever, he poke
Yeah,
checks
he
it.
needs to. This is the take him out of the shootout.
It's the third time it hasn't worked. I don't think you have to take him out of the shootout because he has silky
I
hands.
don't
He's
think he
just got to
should
do
be in
something
the
else.
start. I don't think he should be in the first 3 for
Yeah,
now.
I think Miko should go first because he's the best at it.
Yeah, he has that quick shot, and I feel like
Hmm.
he can catch them first.
Right. And
And
I thought
then
Miko was going to score
I was hoping it would, but
because there was some room, it looked like, on the far
yeah, he
side.
just didn't quite get it right.
Yeah. It, yeah. The ice was really good, by the way,
Yeah,
for what it's
I,
worth.
yeah, I didn't. I mean, I don't. I couldn't really tell, but I didn't like see any
Right.
bad
Just
butts or
like,
anything.
you know how, like, usually there's like a ton of big cuts in Ball
Yeah,
Arena's ice because it's pretty soft compared to other NHL ice. None today. It looked really good. It was pristine and pure.
that's good. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know. I could see that. But yeah, no. And then I don't know. McKinnon's moves all right. I don't know.
He just didn't quite get it far enough to the backhand. Like there was some
Yeah,
room there. He
I
just kind of
think
put it into his chest.
with a guy like Nate, we saw it in
Hmm.
which one was it?
It's a Seattle. It was the same move as Seattle, except
Yeah,
instead of pulling it back 5 hole, he just stayed on the backhand.
yeah. So that's one thing. So you saw Vasilevskiy, and they did it like God, I don't know what game it was. It was or I don't know. It was something I was watching. It was like a Lightning game. It was the Lightning Oilers game, and he poke checked McDavid, and they did one of those things where like they break down their plays with him. They did one with Kale, when he played the Panthers or something. Anyways, and it's like he likes that poke check. That's how Kale got him in the shootout last year. And with a guy like Nate who has really fast hands and really good lateral movement, I'd really like to see him just try and open up that 5-hole, get him to poke check. And at least, like, you don't have to put it 5-hole, but at least, like, make him make an aggressive move. But I mean, it's also, Vasilevskiy. It's like,
he's just crazy, man. Like he moves like no goalie I've ever seen. I can't even.
It's kind of nuts. One thing that I Riker mentioned it, and it sounds dumb, but also like his shoulder pads seem a bit large for a man of his stature. I just don't. I see him in net, and I just don't see another goalie with like shoulders that big. It's weird. And then you see him off the ice, and he's this tiny little skinny guy. It's like, I remember that was like a big thing in 2021. Was people were a little salty about that, but that was when 18 million over the cap. Yeah,
he's just so good. He's the best type. He's the best goalie I've ever seen.
He's pretty good. Rangers fans can chant Igor's better as much as they want. It's not true.
It's not true. No.
Yeah.
Igor's a little different because I saw him earlier this year. He just is like, there's nowhere to shoot.
Yeah, he's all about.
And Vasi, it looks like there's places to shoot, but then he just gets it.
Yeah. So he's all like, the cat. He's got cat-like reflexes. Anyways, let's get into this second Avs goal. You kind of touched on it. Great play from Beau, too. I thought Beau was pretty good tonight.
He was so good.
A definite step up from... really, like, most of the Avs defensemen I thought were good. I was even fine with McDermott, and then he made that massive mistake, and I was like, okay.
He was fine.
He actually did, like, better on the penalty kill than
I was really sketchy on the PK, dude. Oh
it was scary, but I mean, when he was doing things, I wasn't.
He would like chase dudes into the corner and like smoke them. And it's like, dude, just get back to the box. Like, you're leaving the front of the net open. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Luckily, they didn't take advantage of it. So.
Yeah, well, with McDermott, that's like the only draw you can see to him being a penalty killer is that there's just not very like. You're not really if he's in a very limited, like he's like barely moving from the front of the net and stuff. You could see why it works. He's a big guy. He's got a big reach. He cuts down lanes. But yeah, it didn't really.
It's not what he does.
It's not the Curtis McDermott way. Like if at that point you're saying like if he was a different player, then
right.
If he was Victor Hedman.
Yeah, Victor Hedman was. I don't know. I just never watched, like, I used to watch Victor Hedman and be like, wow.
Yeah, dude, he's lost it a little bit.
Nah, he's lost a step, man.
He's old.
He's still really silky.
Yeah.
And he's got that reach and he's got really good gaps and stuff, but a couple times he's just like, man, he's lost a step or two.
Yeah, you're just not seeing the same from him.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I remember, like the only reason he really did anything in the Cup final was because Kemper led in a softie against him.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah, Jack Johnson.
That wasn't even that bad of defense by JJ. It was just a softie.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like you really want better defense there, but also you want your goalie to make the save.
That happened right in front of me. I was so pissed. You cannot let that in.
I was just so annoyed because like he was that game in particular, he was doing so good. Like that was probably his best game of the entire run, I would say. And then everybody was like, "Oh God, this guy sucks." Put in Frankie, and I was like, it was annoying.
He was fine. It happens.
Yeah. Anyways, good goal. Great pass.
Let's get to this third goal. Oh, JT Compher. Oh.
What?
So bad. The third goal of the game. Bad
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking
Bad.
third goal for either team, and I was like, what?
Bad.
Yeah, no. Like the thing is, it sucks because you can see where he's shooting at, but also it's like, all right, it's Andrei Vasilevskiy. He's just gonna kick his leg out. Like I see what
That
net
pissed
you're
me off
shooting
so
at, but
much.
also hit the net if you're gonna do that.
Self-inflicted wound that ruins all of the good work you've done, and it makes it easy for them to come back in the third.
Yeah,
Just with
I
one
mean,
bounce.
look,
And they
how
got the
many
bounce right away.
times does this team have to learn? Stop putting Nikita Kucherov on 2-on-1s. It happened in Game 1 of the Cup
It
final.
goes in every goddamn time, dude.
It happened in a game last year.
Yeah.
It happened in this one.
Game 1.
The
Even a
regular
2-on-2
season game in Colorado, it happened.
Yep.
Game 1.
It did not happen in Game 6.
Didn't happen in Game 6.
Well, they let it happen, but he did not score. Good save,
Yeah.
Darcy. Good Darcy. So, yeah, I was like, I mean, that gave me like maximum Game 5 Vegas vibes where like the Avs are playing so well, and then Gabe Landeskog strolls down the ice and back passes it to Ryan Graves, except he misses the puck, and Vegas goes down 2-on-1 and scores. It was just like, dude, like all you had to do was not that. Like literally the worst thing you could have done. All you had to do was not do it.
Yeah, it's just those bad angle shots. Just why?
There's no point, man.
Like
turn around. Let's control the puck a little bit here.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, at least have it be like when everybody's in the zone
Pad
and you
pass it.
don't actively know that there's everybody behind you.
Right. Pad pass it, bro.
Yeah.
Do something. You just can't like
shoot a 5-hole.
How stupid can you be? Like you cannot miss it there. And Braden Point's like, whoa, there's a puck coming up to me? Oh, okay.
Right.
Sweet, dude. And Kucherov is obviously like lazy, and so he's just chilling out there.
Yeah.
And like it's a goal. And I didn't think Taves played it very well at all, but like also it's Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov.
Look, so. I think it hit him.
It went between his legs.
I think he like barely nicked it, yeah.
Yeah. It was too easy.
Yeah.
Georgiev didn't leave him much space for that puck.
Yeah.
He just put it there. It's a nice goal.
I mean, he keeps getting peppered again. Apparently, it sounds like he's going to play tomorrow. This is not really the game you wanted.
No, I think he's going to be really good tomorrow.
I hope so. He's going to need to be.
Remember, I don't think the Wild are that good. Remember?
It's not that I don't think the Wild. It's not that I think the Wild are good. It's just the Avs are tired and the Wild aren't.
Yeah, true.
And they still have a Kirill Kaprizov on their team. So
I don't. It's him and Zuccarello, man. That's it.
Mm.
Like all the guys who had career years last year aren't.
And guess what? They're not as good. I just thought. Shock.
I know. I'm shocked. Shocked face.
All right, and then we already kind of touched on this. I mean, we touched on both of these other Tampa goals. We didn't touch on Dennis Malgin. God, I love Dennis Malgin. He's
been so good since he's come. Yeah, he fits so good. He's
I do
honestly wouldn't mind trying him on the PK a little bit.
Speed, yeah.
Speed, like I don't know. They're
putting him on the power play.
Bit of time off.
Which
he's
is
on PP
cool.
too. Yeah.
It's we kind of called it. I mean, you put Ben Myers. Guess what? Ben Myers, Dennis Malgin, Matt Nieto. That was a fun fourth line for the 5 minutes they played together.
They dominated, dude.
Dude, they were so sick. The first shift of the game, they were cooking, and then they draw a penalty later, and then they score that goal, and it's like, hell yeah. And
they should have played more.
Dude, that's one thing that kind of annoys me. They played at all strengths. Dennis Malgin played 5 minutes. Ben Myers played 4:52. Why?
What did Nieto play?
Matt Nieto played 10, but he only played 7 at 5v5.
It's frustrating. I think Dennis Malgin is good, and he should not be playing 5 minutes.
I'm glad he's an RFA because he definitely gives me.
He's gonna sign for $1 million next year, and it's gonna be like.
I definitely hope they re-sign him. He gives me better vibes than Abe Kubel. He fits this system a lot better than Knack.
Yeah, Abe Kubel couldn't skate and took a penalty every game. It was like And like the 11 goals or whatever were nice, but if Malgin can give you 8 goals instead of 10 and not take all those penalties and play with a little more speed and playmaking and skill.
Yeah, it's just a nice injection of speed, and especially Darren Helm is we're obviously getting very far ahead of ourselves, but Darren Helm questionable. Now I have some doubts that he will play past this season if he comes back, but
Yeah, I'm sure this is it for him if it even happens.
I don't think Dennis Malgin, and I mean we don't know what's going to happen with the other depth guys.
I bet you Cogliano's done too after this.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's given it. He's given it his every last bit he's got, man. He looks tired some nights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. God, it's times like this where I just, it's not that I don't like them on the team now. I just wish they had retired just so they could get that last happy moment.
Oh, they're getting another happy moment. Don't even say that, Edison.
Okay. All right. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I don't know if they will.
I do.
All right.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw it. Fair enough. Anyways, they were dope. We called it. Pat ourselves on the back. Good job, us. Yeah. And then obviously they send Ben Myers down. So.
Yeah, we'll see. That probably means 11-7. If unless Manson's not good, and then you just call him back up.
Yeah, So it seems like Josh Manson. Even if he is, I would have preferred if they had kept him and not played. You have the flexibility with Hunt. You could send it back down, or you could just scratch Kermit. Honestly,
right.
Don't care. Would have really liked to just have 12 forwards, but that's okay. But I went third period on the whole. Started off pretty rough. You look at the stats; they're not very good. But it definitely felt like towards the end of the third period, the Avs really pushed hard.
Yeah, they pushed, and I mean the last. I don't know since the last 5 minutes of that game, since the commercial break, that was like hockey at its best. You just had to be there, man. Just so fun. Everything about that last, 5.5 minutes. Just
not quite what you like.
I just don't have words for it, man. It was just like, this sport is so fucking cool.
Right.
So obviously no goals and stuff like that. It was just nonstop action, down and back.
It's so frustrating
because everybody's trying so hard.
Lecky has that beautiful saucer pass to JT that he doesn't score on. Mikko and Nate both dance people, and
Yeah. And then they've lost. So it was really funny. I was walking out of the building, and I was next to my buddy, and I was like, because he's kind of new to it. I mean, he's played hockey, but he hasn't followed the Avs for a very long time.
Yeah, heavily.
And so and so he's starting to. So I was like, yeah, Nate and Mikko and all these top guys, they've lost the Avs so many overtimes and shootouts over the years because they aren't very good at it, and I don't know why. And he was like, yeah, I can see why. And right next to me, you know who's walking? Graham McKinnon. It's Nathan McKinnon's dad. and I'm there just being like, Nathan McKinnon's lost the Avs so many games in overtime and shootouts. And he's walking right next to me. And I was like,
Dogfather ain't gonna be happy with you.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Dude, the fact that he comes to all his kids' games, warms my little heart.
The red beard.
Dude, that one of him, that was the one thing from the movie that I really liked, was seeing McKinnon hug his parents. That got me. But I mean, unfortunately, I'm not a fan of Nathan McKinnon in overtime today. He made that weird ass pass to Mikko that was pointless and bad. And then he has this one-on-one with Sergachev, and he spends too much time going in and out in the middle, and then he doesn't even get a shot on net. I'm like, just go to the outside. You're fast. Go speed.
Yeah,
speed
he could
around.
have he could have got him.
And instead I don't know, he just felt the need to challenge him one-on-one, and I'm like, you're just playing into what Sergachev can do.
Right. Yeah. I didn't mind the shot. It was just like why would you shoot it why would you shoot it with Sergachev in your way, big man?
Yeah, it was super frustrating. I didn't um I wasn't a fan of the overtime in general. It felt like too many times the Avs were just like they'd get the puck and they just glide with it a little bit instead of moving their feet. Because like it
Right.
just felt like Tampa was like they never really like it had any chance. Tampa was just nice and calm and under control. And then
Right.
like the first half of it, they were just doing whatever with the puck. That was
Tampa
super frustrating.
so the first Tampa had the clamps on. They're really good at that. They're really good at overtime. I was
Yeah,
like, God,
it was 6-2.
they they don't give up they don't give you anything easy. Like and and even if you get a chance, they have Andrei Vasilevskiy.
Yeah, I
So
was really hoping Bo was going to score there. He got really close, but he just waited 1 second too long.
right.
That was annoying. And then, yeah, I mean, credit to the Avs when they turned the puck over, they just decided to murder guys on the Lightning. I feel like, nah, that's our puck. We're gonna go
Yeah.
mess up with it again.
Yeah. I don't know. Such a boring 3-on-3 after such an amazing last 5.5
Yeah, and then
minutes.
it was like, this sucks. And I hate
Yeah.
it.
And then the shootout, you just know Stamkos is going to do
Yeah,
that move and
yeah,
go
I
high
was like,
blocker.
that's his move.
It's been his move since he entered the league.
Did it against the Avs last year.
Yeah.
Except we had a captain last year who was like, okay, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Did the same thing. But yeah, so I mean, shootouts are shootouts.
Yeah, it's Tampa, it's Toronto. I mean, I don't know how good Toronto is, but it's like those teams that are just so stacked that at a shootout you're just like, ugh. New York was one of them.
hmm The Avs should be one of them.
Yeah,
They
we're just
suck
not.
at them.
Yeah, Nate. Every year he's once in a while just do something incredible, and you're like, oh shit! But then the
And then
rest
all
of
the
the time
other
he's
ones, you're
bad.
like,
He's like,
hmm
stop. And then Miko, does his same thing every time, and
he picks a side. You don't know which side he's going down, but you do know
yeah,
that he's going to shoot. And usually when he picks the side he picked today, he holds on to it and goes and tries to get the goalie scrambling and kind of like the Alex Tanguay move, if you remember that.
yeah. We
Yeah.
need a Wojtek Wolski back.
Dude,
I wish that was what Erod was, but the
seriously.
problem is he just does that one move.
Yeah.
And like that move
Wojciechowski
is
did
so
that one
good
move.
if you're not seeing it coming. It's like
hmm
Jonas Donskoy has that move that he does.
hmm
He does like the little backhand forehand, but the problem is that he doesn't. His is you could execute it a
It's
little
so
bit.
deceptive. Yeah, you can do different variations.
Yeah,
That's what
you
makes a good shootout
that's that's the
move.
problem with the Erod one is
hmm
when he commits to it, he's
He's got
stuck with
he's
it.
got one thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's why I'm a big fan of the Stamkos move. That's what I do. Except I'm a lefty, so I'm shooting high glove, but um like I go down my offside and then cut back to the middle because it gets the goalie moving and you can just kind of pick your spot because the chances are they're not going to be square to you
yeah.
because you got them moving. So
I'm a scumbag.
what do you do?
I just go 5 hole.
Yeah.
I kind of do the who is it? The Ryan Johansson. I just kind of stop and then I just
Mm,
shoot a 5 hole.
hmm Or Ryan O'Reilly would go down his offside and then slide it 5 hole.
Yeah,
hmm
that's more what I do. Uh,
hmm
I don't do a lot. It's mostly just in practice, so it's like not at the same. I always like to do one where I just where you pump fake them and you get them to drop, but then they come back up because they didn't do it and then you just immediately do it. That feels so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that one.
That's because I don't really have good hands, so that's the closest I can get to like toying with a goaltender.
Yeah, and I don't have good hands either. So. Yeah, I just kind of shoot. That's what I got. Yeah, I'm a little
Yeah, I
sad
mean,
now. I don't like losing.
I don't like losing either. It's by the way, okay, let's talk about this really quick. Jared Bednar is fucking at it with this league.
What did he say? I haven't seen it yet.
He's God, it was something along the lines of, I'm tired of these teams waiting for us. Here, hold on. He says, I hate it every back-to-back. This team is waiting. The team is waiting on us, resting. I find it odd that's the best schedule we can come up with. I have no problem with playing back-to-backs. I don't like playing the rest of the team every time on a back-to-back, especially against 3 teams we're fighting with.
Yeah. So I love the schedule tweet that Micah, shout out to Hockey Viz, Micah Blake McCurdy, sends out every week, or not every week, but like I think every 2 weeks, sends out the schedule for each team, like their next 10 games, and he gives them each a designation. So the Avs, a blue game is when you're playing a team on a back-to-back and you're rested. The Avs will have the league's lowest amount of blue games this year at 6. And then the next lowest will be Nashville at 8. And the Avs will also have the highest amount of red games, which is you're on a back-to-back and the other team is rested. So the Avalanche, in terms of back-to-backs this year, got screwed over the most in terms of rest.
Fun.
Yeah. They play the least amount of blue games and the most amount of red games. Like, ridiculous.
That's a way to treat your defending Stanley Cup champion right there, league.
Yeah. So, yeah, they haven't had a blue game since like November.
Yeah, I remember last year that happened to us a few times, and I felt bad about it.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
It hasn't happened, man. And they'll play 3 before the end of the year.
And if it ever does, I'm just gonna be like, tough shit, cry about it. Yeah. I don't care. I'm
Cope
done.
harder, other team. Yeah. We just turbo dunked you on your back-to-back.
It's frustrating. And if they can somehow, do you want to? I mean, you're not expecting too much, but just given the situation,
I'm expecting them to win.
I hope they win.
I'm expecting them to win.
Mikko needs to be better than he has been.
Yeah, it's a divisional opponent.
I really like Newhook or Erod, and one of Newhook or Erod at least to score again eventually here.
Well, yeah, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need the depth
Nuke
to play
needs to
better.
Score at some point.
You need the depth to play really good because those guys, they don't play that much, and like they're probably not going to be super tired. So, the top 6, I assume. Here's how I think this is going to go. I think they're going to get Manson back, and I think they're going to
cook Kirill in the corner again.
I guess that was funny.
Dude, that'd be hilarious.
I think they have a really good first period, and I think it tails off from there. Just kind of the formula we've seen over the past couple months with these back-to-backs. So
yeah,
I expect them to win though. It's a divisional opponent. I get it. It's a scheduled loss technically, but you have to get up for this. You got to get up for this one. Like,
you do. Especially after you lose this one.
Right. The Edmonton one I shouldn't say in. I meant to say this weekend. Did you know that it's at 1 p.m. after they play St. Louis at night?
No, they don't.
Oh, they play St. Louis in the afternoon. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But still, like, I can't believe they scheduled a back-to-back at 1 p.m.
Yeah. That's so weird.
That's crazy, man. That's a scheduled loss if I've ever seen one. And you're gonna have to play JoJo in that game.
I don't know. See, I don't know if that's I think that's the least scheduled loss because they play that game at 12 and then they get to come home, have a nice meal at home, and then sleep, just fine in their own beds.
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like playing a second half of back-to-back at 1 p.m. the next day is like such a dick move by the NHL. Like, come on.
I could feel that one.
Against a rested team. Like, Edmonton's going to be waiting for them.
Yeah. That's that's the problem, and that's not only our problem; it's Bednar's problem. It's frustrating. I hope you're right. I hope they win tomorrow because a win here, they have a game in hand, and then they would go 2 points clear, and maybe they can finally start, put Minnesota in the rearview mirror if they get this win. Because if they get the win tomorrow, don't really give a shit about tonight. You get 3 out of 4 points on a back-to-back against 2 playoff teams. You're like, hell yeah. With half your decor out, no Cale Makar.
Dude, I hope they get Manson back. I can't watch that defense again.
I hope they get Manson back. His jersey's coming up soon.
Sit Kurt. Sit him.
Yeah.
Give me Englund and Hunt as your third.
And that's the thing. I'm like, Hunt has the waiver, but I thought Hunt was good tonight. I didn't think he was I thought he was good in the first period. He was jumping in the play. I didn't think he was as good, but yeah, it wasn't special.
He's
good for Brad Hunt,
which is good. It's consistently okay. That's all you need.
I want to see him drop a Hunt hammer tomorrow. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's since the Vancouver game, right?
Yeah, I like tweeting Hunt hammer.
Oh, sorry, I just hit a wall.
Seriously though, Nuke score. I haven't used that fucking GIF in forever. It's falling down on my Twitter thing. Score. Score me a goal, goddammit.
He'll get it together. He's been cooking the last couple games.
Yeah, he's been playing good. But
yeah, he was good.
We need to get our rest because we got to talk about another game tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so tired. And tomorrow I have hockey practice, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Game's at 7:30, so I don't know.
We might have to do the podcast the following day because it's at 7:30 Mountain. That's the worst possible time it could be. I practice from 8:30 to 9:30. And it's at the edge, so it's a half-hour drive, so I have to leave at 7:30.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. Either way, we'll have a post-game podcast for you for it. Whether or not, technically it'll be on Thursday no matter what.
It's either going to be at this hour or it's going to be the following morning, or yeah.
Yeah, probably like night, I guess.
It's class. Yeah. Whenever we can.
I guess that is right. Yeah. Well, anyways, we'll figure it out.
We'll be okay.
Hopefully, big game tomorrow.
I just want to watch the game. That's the thing. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be the next day.
Right. Yeah. I figured. Avs have struggled in Minnesota lately, but they got one earlier this year, and they've been good on the second night of a back-to-back. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, they use their brains better on second nights because
hopefully they get the Philip Gustafson that they saw earlier in the year.
Is it going to be him or is it going to be Flower? Because Gustafson played yesterday against Florida.
Yeah, I figured.
I hope it's Flower. It's a dub if it's Flower.
I don't know. He always plays pretty good against us. So
we cook Flower.
Okay, all right. I'll just shut my mouth.
Well, he's just bad now. That's my thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust goalies. I'm never gonna say goalie's ever gonna be bad. I just don't.
You're right, dude. The other night I looked at Casey DeSmith's stats, and I was like, 901 save percentage, 337 goals against, and he's like 7-14. Looks like his goal's open for business, and then it wasn't open for business. So
yeah, I said once they started him because I didn't know Jari was hurt. I was like, this is disrespect. We don't take disrespect, and I took disrespect.
Yeah.
Casey DeSmith was like, how about this disrespect, bitch?
How about this disrespect? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
Sorry.
And then he went back to sucking. He just his next start.
It's because I complimented his mask. That's why. Every time I compliment a fucking goalie's mask, they do something dope against the Avs.
Maybe that's
he had the Dwight Schrute thing on the back of his helmet, and I was like, that's cool. And then they won. I was like,
yeah, that was kind of cool, actually.
It was cool. That's the problem. I want to be able to appreciate things.
Sorry, I was thinking of Mike Smith's mask.
Oh.
Maybe that's why he was so bad against us, because you didn't compliment his mask.
Oh, yeah. I was just shitting on his mask, dude.
Yeah.
One of the worst masks I've ever seen, honestly.
He had ears on his mask, dude. Why?
Yeah, it was so bad.
Markstrom has ears on his mask, and he's bad now.
Markstrom's one mask, though, dude, that lava mask, oh, dude, that's sick.
I
wish he'd play good enough to justify it.
Yeah.
3
stars.
Oh, right, 3 stars. By 3 stars, I'm gonna go George 3. I'm gonna go God, who else I think was good? I'm gonna go Dennis Malgin second, and I'm gonna go Bo Byram first.
Yep, I've got Bo at 1, and I've got Lecky at 2, and I've got Malgin at 3. And
Yeah, I'll probably
if there was a
I'll throw
4,
Lecky in there over George.
gotcha. If there was a 4 spot, it would be Georgia.
Yeah.
Kind of same vibes tonight. Shout out Andreas Englund.
He was
Another good game.
Dude, he was rumbling down at the end, and I was like,
he had McKinnon on the drop pass, and he looked back. He looked back,
and then he just sent it to nothing.
He was like, "Nah, I don't trust myself. I'm gonna send it around to Miko."
I was like, "That's fine, I guess."
Because McKinnon on that drop pass had so much space, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to drop pass it and turn it over. So
that's All right, we'll finally get out of here.
Oh, disappointing player.
Oh, disappointing player. I'm just gonna say JT. We kind of ripped on him earlier.
That's fine.
Yeah. It's like the thing. Bad. It's like I didn't like what McDermott did, but also is it disappointing if it kind of expected?
Oh, he was also bad. Yeah.
But yeah. Which is kind of my point with the whole JT thing. So I was like,
JT was at least bad the whole game. Curtis McDermott was just bad a couple times.
Right.
So,
dude, that one one last thing. That one fourth line shift they had, they just kept giving him the puck, and I was like, run the offense through. Why don't you? Surely this will work.
Yeah, I saw someone tweeted, I guess Curtis McDermott turned into Cale Makar tonight. Don't ever tweet that again.
I'm going to do that if he scores another goal.
And I'll post that you just got scored on by Curtis McDermott meme with laser eyes. Don't worry.
Dude. It's also because I posted a meme today on my account. But I had to.
Valentine's Day memes?
Yeah.
I assume.
I did
I was not on the Instagram much today.
I did. I did the picture of Gabe. Actually, I think I can pull it up here really quick. One last thing. Well, I'll show you off stream.
Okay.
It's Mighty
I can
Choo
just
Choo
open
Train.
Instagram right now. Yeah.
Yeah. if anybody wants to follow me there. Anyways, bye everybody. We'll talk about this wild game that's hopefully a W, like Blake predicted, and if it's not, I'm going to make fun of him.
I expect a W. I don't predict a W.
Okay. All right.
We'll see what happens. I expect them to win.